Good morning, Tahmina Khan is here in TKMaths is fun. In today's video, we will continue studying the quadratic function chapter 2, which is the part of the syllabus of year 11 for the maths, Pearson and Edexcel. So in the previous video, we have completed the concept of completing a square method. In this video, our focus will be on quadratic formula and discriminant. So all of us know the quadratic formula, which is written here. And whenever we solve quadratic formula, we use it to solve quadratic equation, we get two answers. One because of plus sign and the other because of minus sign, right? In this formula, this part, which is inside the bracket, is called discriminant. Now, there are three conditions we face here. Let me write three sort of numbers here. Because b square minus 4ac, when you substitute the value here, you get either a positive number, right, or you get 0 answer, or you get negative answer, which is called b square minus 4ac greater than 0, mean positive, equals to 0, mean inside the root you have 0, b square minus 4ac less than 0 is negative. This gives you error if you solve it in the calculator. It means it has no real root. When you get 0, it means now you have only this term left in the formula, minus b over 2a, because this turned into 0. Graphically, that is the situation when the graph is touching the x-axis, either this way or this way. So that's why it is called equal and real root or one root. Whereas in this case, the graph is totally above the x-axis. It doesn't touch the x-axis. But when you have b square minus 4ac greater than 0, means positive, then you have to solve equation for plus value and for minus value. So it is called unequal real two roots. In that case, graphically, it means the curve will pass through 2 points on the x-axis, depending on it. So we will see this concept. So remember these three conditions of b square minus 4ac. So first of all, we will only use discriminant, which is b square minus 4ac, to find out the types of root we will get, not exactly the root. So my focus is right now only on this part of the curve. And out of these three conditions, which condition it will meet. So we are not applying the whole formula, only the part of it, which is called discriminant. So part A, B, C I will solve here in front of you. D, E, F I have already solved here. So if you want to put the video on pause after doing ABC with me, then you can and check your answer here. So let's start with A. Because I have to use discriminant to determine the types of root, it is also called the nature of roots. So I will do b square minus 4ac. In this equation, if you compare it with the general equation of quadratic, which is this. So for part 1, a is 1, b is minus 2, and c is 1. So coefficient of x square is your a, and coefficient of x power 1 is your b. So I will write minus 2 square, 4, a is 1, and c is plus 1. So 4 minus 4. I got answer 0. So when you get discriminant 0, it means it has one root, or you can also call two equal real roots. Two equal real roots. Okay, now let's do b. b is x square minus 3x minus 2. a is 1, b is minus 3, c is minus 2. So you will write discriminant and then substitute the values here. So answer is 17, and 17 is greater than 0. It's a positive discriminant. So you will say two distinct real roots. So you have to tell the nature of the root. If I want to solve it, if I want to find out the roots, what will I do? I will just plug in this 17 in this formula b square minus 4ac over 2a and substitute the values b and a and solve it. But right now this is not the requirement of the question, so I will only tell here the roots. Similarly, let's do part C, which is 2x square minus 3x minus 4. Right. So b square is minus 3 square, 4ac, right? A, B, C. So I'm substituting in the formula. 3 3s are 9 and 4 2s are 8, 8 4s are 32. So answer is again what? Positive. So you will say it is greater than 0. So just write two distinct real root again. So for the remaining 3 questions, you can put the video on pause and I'm showing you here the solution and the working so you can match with your answer. Okay, so I'm showing it here. So I hope it is understood. If you have any query, any question, you can write it down in the comments below. So now let's do example 2 here. Okay, how discriminant is solved. After that, I have taken past paper questions. The equation px square minus 2x minus 7 equals to 0 has 2 real roots and you have to deduce the value of p. So in this case, I have been told okay, what discriminant will be. B square minus 4ac. Achha, by the way, when it is said 2 real roots, it means greater than equals to. If the word only real is here, sorry, I have written other way around. It is greater than right now. If it is only real root, then you will write greater than equals to. Because only real mean it could be 2 or it could be one answer. So that's why when the only word real is there, we write greater than equals to. Right now it is telling you 2 real roots, so I will only write greater than 0. Now let me plug in the values. I hope simple inequality equation, not a problem for anybody. When I divide it by minus 28, what will happen? The sign of inequality will change. You know that thing, right? Sorry, let me write 28. So it is, so this implies minus 1 over 7 less than p, or you can write p is greater than minus 1 over 7. Correct. Now let's do part 3. If you want to try yourself, you can put the video on pause, but I'm explaining it here so that those who need more explanation get confirmation again. Now in this case, the equation has equal root. Equal roots mean discriminant equals to 0. So this time I will write b square minus 4ac equals to 0. Instead of x power 1, the coefficient is 2. So I will write here 2. So I got my answer of m. Question says find the value of m. Now this is the test of your understanding. Now you can put the video on pause. I have solved the solution. I tried to take 4 or 5 past paper questions here to give you good understanding the application of discriminant in various situations. So that's why few questions I have solved and few I will solve in front of you. And the reason is to avoid the length of video very long, because 20 minutes is sufficient for A-level student to focus at one time. Rather, they should have more retention power, but still, at least 20, so it should be there. Now, if you see here, the equation is given, very important is, coefficient of x square is 1, coefficient of x is this, which is your b, and this whole term, which is without x, will be considered as your c. Two distinct mean you have discriminant greater than 0, right? And you have written your ABC from the question. After that, you will substitute these values in the b square minus 4ac greater than 0. Now I will tell you what is the other mistake happen here mostly. You know this term, which is p minus 3 square. Mostly students forget that here they will apply this identity expansion of the bracket. Rather, it is written there like this in most of the cases. Simply square is applied in both. Please avoid such mistakes. Don't forget, when you have two terms, binomial terms, and you have power, you have to expand it algebraically, right? So once you get this, you get quadratic inequality. Now you have to solve this quadratic inequality. Okay, so first of all, through the calculator you can get the roots. If you put this in the calculator, it will show you root minus 3 and 1. These roots will be equals to p, because my variable is p here in this case. So from these roots, you will change them into factors, like I have done here. Marking scheme gives 1 mark for writing this, so don't forget it. And after that, it is quadratic inequality, so I can do it mentally, or if I'm not good at this, I will simply sketch it to see what is my root. Please do not make a common mistake here, which is, I'm writing here the common mistake, p plus 3 greater than 0, p minus 1 greater than 0. From here they get p greater than minus 3, p greater than 1. Not at all. This shows very clearly that you have no concept. So do not do that. Quadratic inequalities are not dealt like equations. So if you sketch it, it means the roots are at minus 3 and 1. Greater than 0 mean you are considering the above part of the curve. So what are the values of p here? These are the values of p here. So that's why your answer is p greater than 1 or p less than minus 3. Now this is another question, similar type, so that's why I've solved it here. You can see almost same. Equation is here the set of values of p for which the equation has two real distinct root. Distinct root mean again what? Discriminant is greater than 0. So you will substitute the values here of a, b, c from the equation. If you want to solve it yourself, you can put the video on pause and solve it, right? So the mistake I have already identified, the common mistake, which I'm not repeating here, right? So you have to be careful in all these. Now there is something very important. When you will end up with this quadratic equation and you cannot factorize it, what comes in your mind? It means you will now apply either completing square method or quadratic formula. Definitely quadratic formula is much easier. We can use the calculator. But you have to show the examiner that you are using quadratic formula. If you will straight away use just values, you might lose marks, because in the marking scheme they give method marks. So you have to show the method you are using. So when factorization is not possible, you have two choices: quadratic formula or completing a square. I have used a quadratic formula. And you notice what I have written, equals to, because I want to know that this equation is passing through which 2 points on the x-axis. So this p will give me, not x-axis, p-axis, because my variable is p right now. So that's why I have used the sign p and equals to. But later on, I will change it back to greater than. Okay. So I have substituted the value of ABC here. And you can use calculator. Calculator gives you set value. So you can write that here. This is erased from here. It is 3 here. Now once you get these values, so you know, for example, one side you have minus 7 plus 4 root 3. Another side you have minus 7 minus 4 root 3. And because the coefficient of p square is positive, so curve is like this. And because it is in greater than 0, it means the part of the curve which is above the x-axis. So these are your values of p, which are your answer. So you will say what? P is greater than minus 7 plus 4 root 3 and p is less than minus 7 minus 4 root 3. So let's do this together just one time, very fast. So A is equals to, I left one question because every time when you see solved question, sometime it doesn't stick in your mind. So A is equals to 3k plus 2, B is equals to k plus 5, and C is equals to k. By the way, if you want to try yourself, you can put the video on pause, right? Or you can do with me. Because it is saying real roots, so this time I will use greater than and equals to symbol. So b square minus 4ac is greater than equals to 0. Now let's substitute the values very fast. I'm opening it. It will be 3k plus 6 and c is k. Then you open the bracket. Okay. After that, like and unlike terms we add and subtract. You know that. I want to keep the coefficient of k square positive, so I'm multiplying the whole equation by -1. And you know, whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, inequality, the sign of inequality reverses. So that's why I'm changing the sign. After that, you use calculator. It will give you the values of k, 1 and minus 25 over 11. You can change it into factors. It will become 11k minus 25. So 1 is 11k plus 25, one factor. Another factor is k minus 1. You have to show this to get full marks. Now if you can do it mentally, fine. If you cannot, then small x and y axis you can draw. This is 1, this is minus 25 over 11. And the graph will be like this because the coefficient of k square is plus. This is your k axis right now. Because I'm saying less than or equals to, so this time the curve is this part. And the values of k are these. So I will say k is greater than equals to minus 25 over 11 and less than 1. I hope you understood. In case of any confusion, you can write in the comment and I will explain it to you. Now this question I have not solved, but I just put it here to explain it to you that every time the discriminant question doesn't come separately. Sometimes it is merged with other topics. This time it is merged here with the remainder factor theorem. Then completely factorizing it. And after that it says show that it has one root. So when you get the roots here, then you use discriminant. So I have not solved this question. I will just show you the marking scheme. The purpose here is students have requested that whenever I make video, I should put more questions so that they can practice right then and there. So it become easy. And that is the reason I have put more past paper questions here. So I'm showing you the solution. You can put it on video on pause and check your answer. And at this question, we will end the video. Okay. So thank you very much for liking the, I hope you will like the video, for watching the video. Please share and subscribe it. Share with your friends. Thank you very much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.